Word choice is our next trait, and as I mentioned, I do think it pairs well with voice because the two kind of go hand in hand. A strong word choice and an effective word choice is going to enhance the writing voice. So how are you as a teacher going to teach word choice? One thing you can do is introduce challenge words. This is something that I use in my classroom and I think it works very well. Every week or so I introduce a new challenge word, and basically the student is no longer allowed to use that word in their writing. And if they do, they know that they're going to be penalized in some way, shape, or form when it comes time to assessing the published piece. So examples of challenge words that I've issued in my classroom are good, bad, got, said, sad, happy, things, stuff, kind of weak words that don't really add anything. There's no flair or pizzazz that they bring to the writing. So I try to make students stay away from those. I also try to make sure they're not just substituting them with whatever synonym that pops up when they right click on the word, because they know that sometimes that substitute isn't any better. So instead of saying something like it was the biggest decision I had to make in my life, if big is the challenge word, I'll ask them to change that to something like it was the most mind-boggling decision I've ever had to make, or it was the most heart-wrenching decision I've ever had to make, or the most challenging decision I've ever had to make. None of those are necessarily synonyms of big, which they always try. They'll say it was the hugest decision I ever had to make in my life, but that doesn't really count in terms of playing with word choice and using challenge words effectively. So that's something to communicate with your students if you introduce challenge words to them. Something else that you're looking for in terms of word choice is their kind of tone in the sense of, is it scholastic versus casual? Are the words they're using appropriate for the purpose and the topic that they are writing for? I don't mind a casual voice if it's an informal casual paper. If it's not, though, you probably shouldn't be saying things like gonna and have to and stuff like that. So kind of looking at scholastic versus casual word choice is something that I would be looking for when assessing word choice in a paper. And then lastly, word choice gives you an opportunity to introduce new vocabulary if that's something you want or have to do, especially with a lot of schools having something like a word of the week. I would use word of the week as an incentive. You didn't have to use it, but if you used it effectively and purposefully, and I saw that in your writing, I might, give you some kind of extra credit point or something like that. But I also didn't want students to force themselves to use the word of the weeks just to get points, so you kind of have to be careful with that.